How can you use answer-first communication to sound like a consultant and ultimately pass your case interviews? Let's find out in this video. So, what is answer-first communication? Does it look like this? Nah, it's not like that. Answer-first communication means you start by leading with your key takeaway, then follow it up with a clear list of supporting points. Most people need some practice to get the hang of answer-first communication since they're used to sharing facts first and wrapping up with a summary at the end. When prepping for consulting interviews, you want to look the part and, more importantly, sound the part. So trust me, mastering answer-first communication is one of the most critical skills you need to ace those interviews, so keep watching. Answer-first communication is built around 3 key elements. Start with your solution. The best thing you could do is kick off with a clear, strong recommendation. Provide essential information at a high level. Share the big picture themes and ideas that shaped your recommendation. Share the impactful points from your detailed analysis and research. Mention the detailed analysis you did during the case. This ties everything together and shows how your work backs up your recommendation. Before we get into why this works, I just wanted to mention that answer-first communication is also called the pyramid principle. It's a method created by a McKinsey consultant that's been guiding consultants for decades. We have a video about the pyramid principle, so I'll add the link in the description. Going back, answer-first communication is the best way to work with clients to solve problems. But why is it so effective? It's all about making the most of your client's time and building their confidence. You want them to leave every meeting feeling like it was worth their time and not frustrated, wondering if they're the right fit. As a consultant, your job is to tackle complex problems that the company's employees don't have the time or expertise to handle. They don't need you to walk them through every detail of your findings. Instead, they want you to pinpoint a solid solution to the problem or opportunity they've given you and then share just the key information they need to make a decision. During a project, you'll dive deep into analysis, conduct interviews, and create presentations so your client doesn't have to. With answer-first communication, you deliver the solution right up front and then provide the essential details to help them make smart, strategic choices. I know it may still sound unclear, so let me give you some examples. Good news! You can use answer-first communication throughout the entire case interview. It's not just for sharing your final recommendation. I may have mentioned the word recommendation only in the first few parts, I know, but like I said, you can use it at all stages of the case interview. It's also great for explaining the structure and frameworks you're using and for laying out your initial hypothesis. Let's say in your structure overview, when you're using a framework, it's helpful to name it before diving into the details. This way, you won't leave your interviewer guessing as you go through each topic. During conceptual thinking, there are different ways to organize your ideas. For instance, in a cost savings case, you might choose to break it down into fixed costs versus variable costs. Alternatively, you could focus on the 5 largest cost categories. While fixed versus variable is a common approach, looking at the biggest cost categories might help you see that focusing on a few key areas could be the key to meeting your cost savings targets. In your analytical thinking, before you start crunching numbers, outline your approach. For example, if you're calculating market growth, explain that you'll compare the market size across different time periods. It may seem like extra work, but it can save you from heading in the wrong direction. After your analysis, make sure to recap what the numbers mean for the case. For instance, a low market growth rate might challenge the client's goals. Lastly, for your synthesis, when it's time to wrap up, clearly state your recommendation, then summarize the main themes from your structure and conceptual thinking, and include only the strong data points to back up your case. All right, before we wrap up this video, let me give you some tips on how to practice answer-first communication. Practice answer-first communication during case prep. There's no shortcut to getting good at answer-first communication. You need to practice it during your case interviews. It's a different way of talking and really worth getting right. You might think you've got it covered if you're studying all the frameworks and sketched out a ton of structures, but it's just as crucial to practice leading with the answer while you're thinking, writing, and talking. The best way to nail this is by doing practice cases with your peers. When you run a case interview with a friend, you can see how they handle the case and pick up some useful tips. I can remember one of our alumni at my consulting firm mentioned that he also learned a lot from structuring cases by watching a friend who was amazing at it. And when your friends give you a case interview, it's a great chance to practice leading with your answer and backing it up with key points. Number 2, practice answer first communication at different steps of the case. Make it clear how you plan to tackle things. If your interviewer knows your game plan, it puts them at ease while you work through the details. For instance, if your interviewer gives you a profit growth case, you could start by saying, got it, I'm going to break this down into revenue and cost. Does that work for you? If they're on board, they can just watch you while you build your structure, knowing you're on the right path. If they think something's different or have additional info, they can guide you before you get too far into your structure. The same goes for case math. Let your interviewer know how you plan to calculate cost growth before diving into the numbers. They might even give you a shortcut that saves you time. Number 3, practice using different frameworks for the same case. You might feel pretty sure about the framework you're using, but your interviewer might push you to think about the problem in a new way. Being comfortable with various frameworks is super valuable because it shows you can adapt and handle different perspectives. If your interviewer challenges your approach, it's a chance to show how well you can pivot and respond to feedback. Number 4, practice your approach to the analytical portions of the case. Get some practice in with the drills that cover the key analytical parts of the case. For example, work on how you calculated profit and loss, market share, revenue drivers, and so on. The more familiar you are with these high-level frameworks, the easier it will be to use them naturally during your interviews. Number 5, practice with scenarios in your daily life. Sometimes you'll face unexpected questions that are tough to handle with answer first communication. Preparing for those curveballs can help you stay calm during your interview. You can practice answer first communication in everyday situations. For instance, when giving advice on a weekend activity, try this approach. Answer first. You should definitely visit the new art exhibit at the downtown gallery. Essential information. They have a fantastic collection of contemporary pieces and rotating exhibits. Impactful points. I saw the latest exhibit on abstract art and it was both thought-provoking and visually stunning. Plus the gallery has a cozy cafe where you can grab a cup of coffee and discuss the arts. Let's see if you've learned from this video. Let's say you're asked to recommend a restaurant. What will your approach look like using answer first communication? Type it in the comment section below. I will read your answers and respond to them. All right, that's it. Everything you need to know about answer first communication. I'm curious, will you be going through a case interview soon? If you comment below the name of the firm that you will be interviewing for, I'll share resources for how you can pass the interviews. So, for example, if you put Bain, I'll send you some resources for passing your interviews with Bain. And if you are 100% serious about becoming a consultant at Bain or another amazing firm, I would love to help you. My team and I are former consulting recruiters and interviewers who help applicants get and pass the interviews so they can land their consulting offer. To date, 9 out of 10 applicants who work with us land at least one offer, and we've helped over 800 people already land a consulting job. If you are serious about becoming a management consultant and want to hear how we can help you, click on the link below to book a call with my team to find out more. Booking this call could put you one step closer to landing your offer at McKinsey, Bain, BCG, or other management consulting firms. But you don't have to take my word for it. Hear it from James. James got 9 interviews before he had none. Amazing, right? Despite having a low GPA and countless rejections from consulting firms. I'll link to his videos somewhere around me. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.